It was a cold night in New York City. The streets were quiet, except for the sound of cars passing by. Under a broken streetlight, a small boy sat on a piece of cardboard, hugging his thin jacket tightly around him. His name was Liam, and he was only 10 years old. Liam had no family. He had been living on the streets ever since he could remember. He didn't know who his parents were or where he was born. All he knew was that life was hard, and every day was a fight to survive. Sometimes, kind people gave him food, but most of the time, he had to search through trash cans or beg for coins. He was used to the hunger, the cold, and the loneliness, but deep inside, he still dreamed of something better. One day, Liam saw a big screen on a building showing a man talking. The man had sharp eyes and a confident smile. His name appeared on the screen: Elon Musk. Liam had heard of him before. He was one of the richest men in the world. He built rockets, electric cars, and talked about going to Mars. Liam watched, fascinated. He didn't understand everything, but one thing stuck in his mind. This man made the impossible happen. Liam wanted to meet him. But why would a man like Elon Musk care about a homeless boy? He sighed and curled up under his thin blanket. He walked to a nearby bakery and stood outside, smelling the fresh bread. Sometimes the owner gave him leftovers, but today, she shook her head. "Sorry, Liam, nothing today." Liam sighed and walked away. He needed a new plan. Maybe he could find something in the trash behind restaurants. As he turned a corner, he saw a group of men in suits stepping out of black cars. In the middle of them was a man Liam recognized immediately: Elon Musk. Liam's heart pounded. He had seen Elon Musk on screens before, but now he was right there, just a few feet away. Liam didn't think. He ran toward the group and shouted, "Mr. Musk, please, wait." The security guards stepped forward, blocking Liam. "Stay back, kid," one of them said. But Elon Musk raised his hand. "It's okay," he said. Then he looked at Liam with curiosity. "What do you want, kid?" Liam swallowed his fear. I just wanted to meet you. You're amazing. You build rockets and cars. You make things better." Elon raised an eyebrow. "And what do you do?" Liam hesitated, then said, "I survive." Elon studied him for a moment. He wasn't sure why, but something about this boy intrigued him. "What's your name?" Elon asked. "Liam? Where are your parents?" Liam looked down. "I don't have any." There was a brief silence. Then, to everyone's surprise, Elon Musk said, "Come with me." Liam's eyes widened. "What?" Elon smiled. "Let's get you some food first." Liam couldn't believe it. One moment, he was just another homeless kid. The next, he was walking beside one of the richest men in the world. He had no idea that this was only the beginning of a new life, one that would take him far beyond the streets he had always known. Liam followed Elon Musk through the streets, still in shock. The security guards looked confused but didn't argue. A few minutes later, they arrived at a fancy restaurant. Liam had never been inside a place like this before. The floors were shiny, the lights were bright, and the air smelled delicious. People in suits and dresses sat at tables, eating food Liam had only seen on TV. He suddenly felt out of place in his torn jacket and dirty shoes. A waiter looked at Liam with a frown, but Elon Musk simply said, "Table for two." They sat down, and Elon handed Liam a menu. "Order whatever you want." Liam's hands trembled as he held the menu. The words were fancy, and the prices made his head spin. One meal here cost more than he had ever had in his life. Elon noticed his hesitation. "How about a burger and fries?" he suggested with a smile. Liam nodded quickly. Yes, please. When the food arrived, Liam's eyes widened. The burger was huge, and the fries were golden and crispy. He picked up the burger, took a bite, and his eyes filled with tears. It was warm. It was delicious. It tasted like hope. Elon watched him eat. "How long have you been living on the streets?" he asked. Liam wiped his mouth. "As long as I can remember." Elon was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "What do you want to do in life, Liam?" Liam didn't know how to answer. No one had ever asked him that before. He had never thought beyond surviving the next day. "I don't know," he admitted. "I just don't want to be hungry anymore." Elon nodded. "That's a good start." He leaned back in his chair. "You're a smart kid, and I think you deserve a chance." Liam stared at him. "A chance for what?" Elon smiled. "A new life." Liam's heart raced. Was this really happening? Could a homeless boy like him truly have a future? He didn't know it yet, but this was the moment everything changed. Homeless boy put down his burger, his hands shaking. "A new life," he repeated. Elon Musk nodded. "Yes, I can't change your past, but I can give you a future." Liam didn't know what to say. No one had ever cared about him before. Why would one of the richest men in the world want to help him? "You don't even know me," Liam whispered. Elon smiled. "That's true, but I've built companies, rockets, and cars. And do you know what I've learned?" Liam shook his head. "The right person in the right place can change the world." "I think you have potential, Liam. You just need a chance." Liam's heart pounded. He wanted to say yes, but fear held him back. What if this was a dream? What if Elon changed his mind? "Where would I go?" Liam asked. Elon leaned forward. "With me, to my home. You'll get food, education, and everything you need. But more importantly, you'll have a family." A family. A family. Liam had never had one before. The word felt strange, but warm. His eyes burned with tears, but he quickly wiped them away. "Why are you doing this?" he asked. Elon's expression softened. "Because I can. And because I know what it's like to feel different, to not fit in. You remind me of myself when I was young." Liam took a deep breath. This was a chance. Maybe his only one. He looked at Elon Musk, a man who had everything, and for some reason, he was choosing him. Liam swallowed hard and nodded. "Okay." Elon grinned. "Welcome to your new life, Liam." Liam didn't know what the future held, but for the first time, he wasn't afraid. He had a chance, and he wasn't going to waste it. Liam sat quietly in the back seat of a black Tesla as it drove through the city. Everything felt unreal. Just this morning, he had been hungry and alone. Now, he was on his way to live with Elon Musk. Elon sat beside him, typing on his phone. The car moved smoothly, almost silently. Liam had never been in such a fancy car before. He hesitated, then ran his fingers over the soft leather seat. Elon glanced at him and smiled. "First time in a Tesla?" Liam nodded. "First time in any car, really." Elon's smile faded slightly, as if something about that answer bothered him. "Well, get used to it," he said. "This is only the beginning." Liam swallowed hard. He still couldn't believe this was happening. Arrival at the mansion. The car finally stopped in front of a massive house. No, not a house, a mansion. It had tall glass windows, clean white walls, and a huge garden with trees and fountains. Liam stared in shock. He had spent his life sleeping under bridges and on cold sidewalks. Now, he was standing in front of something that looked like a palace. A woman in a black uniform walked toward them. She smiled at Liam. "Welcome, sir." Sir, no one had ever called him that before. This is Maria, Elon said. She manages the house. If you need anything, she'll help you. Maria bent down a little to meet Liam's eyes. I've prepared a room for you. Would you like to see it? Liam nodded slowly. He followed her inside, his heart pounding. A room of his own. The inside of the mansion was even bigger than it looked from outside. Marble floors, golden lights, walls covered with artwork. It was too much to take in. Maria led him upstairs and opened a door. This is your room. Liam stepped inside and gasped. The room was huge. There was a soft bed, a desk, a big TV, and a window that showed the whole city. It smelled clean, like fresh sheets and new beginnings. Liam touched the bed. It was softer than anything he had ever felt. Maria smiled. I'll leave you to rest. Dinner will be ready soon. She left, closing the door gently behind her. Liam sat on the bed, his hands gripping the blanket. Just yesterday, he had been sleeping on the streets. Now, he had a warm bed, a safe place, and a man who had given him a chance. Tears filled his eyes, but this time, they weren't from sadness. For the first time in his life, he felt like he belonged. Liam woke up to the softest pillow he had ever felt. For a moment, he thought he was dreaming. Then he remembered he wasn't on the streets anymore. He had a bed, a room, and a home. Sitting up, he looked around. Sunlight streamed through the huge window, showing the city below. The view was incredible. A soft knock on the door made him jump. Come in, he said hesitantly. Maria, the housekeeper, walked in with a tray of food. Good morning, Liam. Mr. Musk asked me to bring you breakfast. Liam's eyes widened as she set the tray down. There was toast, eggs, fruit, and a glass of orange juice. More food than he had eaten in a week. He grabbed the toast quickly, afraid someone would take it away. Maria smiled gently. Take your time. There's always more food here. Liam slowed down. He wasn't used to this. Having enough, not being afraid of hunger. As he ate, Maria said, Mr. Musk wants to see you in his office when you're ready. Liam nodded, still chewing. What did Elon Musk want to talk about? Meeting with Elon Musk. After breakfast, Maria led Liam to a large room with bookshelves, computers, and a desk bigger than any table Liam had ever seen. Elon Musk was sitting there, typing on his laptop. When Liam walked in, he looked up and smiled. How's the new room? Liam shrugged. It's nice, big. Elon chuckled. You'll get used to it. He gestured for Liam to sit down. We need to talk about your future. Liam's heart skipped a beat. Was Elon changing his mind? Was he going to send him away? Elon leaned forward. I don't believe in just giving people things. I believe in opportunities. I want you to learn, grow, and become someone who can make a difference. Liam swallowed. How? Elon smiled. School, of course, but not just any school. I have tutors who can help you catch up. We'll find out what you're good at. Liam's stomach tightened. School. He had never been to school. He didn't know how to read big words or do math. What if I'm not smart enough? He blurted out. Elon's face became serious. Liam, intelligence isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning. And you, he pointed at Liam, are a survivor. That means you already have the most important skill. You don't give up. Liam blinked. No one had ever told him something like that before. Elon smiled again. So, are you ready to start? Liam took a deep breath. He was scared, but this was his chance. He nodded. Yes. The next morning, Liam sat at a long wooden table in one of the mansion's study rooms. His hands were sweaty. In front of him were books, a laptop, and a notebook. Across from him sat Mr. Carter, his new tutor, an older man with glasses and a kind smile. "Good morning, Liam," Mr. Carter said. Liam hesitated. "Morning." Elon Musk stood near the door, watching. "Liam, this is Mr. Carter. He'll teach you everything you need to know: math, science, reading, and writing." Liam shifted uncomfortably. "I'm not good at school stuff." Mr. Carter smiled. "That's why I'm here. We'll start from the beginning." Liam looked at Elon. "And if I fail?" Elon's expression was firm but kind. "You won't fail unless you stop trying." Liam nodded slowly. "Let's start with reading," Mr. Carter said, opening a book. He pointed to the first sentence. "Try reading this." Elon's face became serious. "Liam, intelligence isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning. And you," he pointed at Liam, "are a survivor. That means you already have the most important skill. You don't give up." Liam blinked. No one had ever told him something like that before. Elon smiled again. "So, are you ready to start?" Liam took a deep breath. He was scared, but this was his chance. He nodded. "Yes." The next morning, Liam sat at a long wooden table in one of the mansion's study rooms. His hands were sweaty. In front of him were books, a laptop, and a notebook. Across from him sat Mr. Carter, his new tutor, an older man with glasses and a kind smile. "Good morning, Liam," Mr. Carter said. Liam hesitated. "Morning." Elon Musk stood near the door, watching. "Liam, this is Mr. Carter. He'll teach you everything you need to know: math, science, reading, and writing." Liam shifted uncomfortably. "I'm not good at school stuff." Mr. Carter smiled. "That's why I'm here. We'll start from the beginning." Liam looked at Elon. "And if I fail?" Elon's expression was firm but kind. "You won't fail unless you stop trying." Liam nodded slowly. "Let's start with reading," Mr. Carter said, opening a book. He pointed to the first sentence. "Try reading this." Liam stared at the words. Some he recognized, but others were a mystery. His heart pounded. What if he got it wrong? He took a deep breath and tried. The sun is bright." Mr. Carter smiled. "Excellent, Liam." Liam looked up, surprised. "Really?" "Of course. You just read a sentence, and tomorrow you'll read even more." For the first time, Liam felt something new: hope. Elon Musk clapped a hand on his shoulder. "See? You're already learning. Keep going." Liam sat up straighter. Maybe he wasn't as hopeless as he thought. Maybe he really could learn. Days turned into weeks, and Liam's lessons became a daily routine. Every morning he sat with Mr. Carter, learning how to read, write, and do basic math. It wasn't easy. Some days he felt like he would never catch up. The letters and numbers blurred together, and frustration built inside him. "I can't do this," he muttered one day, throwing his pencil down. Mr. Carter remained calm. "Liam, learning takes time. Even Elon Musk wasn't a genius overnight." Liam frowned. "Really?" "Of course. Do you think he built rockets the first time he tried?" "No, he failed many times before he succeeded." Liam looked down at his notebook. Failure didn't mean the end. It meant he had to try again. So, he picked up the pencil and kept going. A conversation with Elon 1. Evening, Liam found Elon Musk in his office, staring at blueprints for a new SpaceX project. "Hey, kid," Elon said without looking up. "How's school?" Liam sighed. "Hard." Elon chuckled. "Good. That means you're learning." Liam sat down. "How did you do it? How did you become so smart?" Elon finally looked at him. "By being curious." by asking questions, by never stopping. Liam thought about that. He had spent his whole life surviving, never thinking beyond the next meal. But now, he had a future. What if I want to build things too? Liam asked quietly. Elon smiled. Then we'll make sure you learn everything you need. For the first time, Liam felt like he could be more than just a street kid. He could be someone. Liam's days became a mix of schoolwork and curiosity. He asked questions about everything: how cars worked, how rockets flew, and how computers could solve problems. One afternoon, Elon took Liam to his Tesla factory. The giant machines, robotic arms, and engineers working on futuristic cars fascinated him. "This is where we build the future," Elon said. Liam's eyes widened. "Can I try something?" Elon raised an eyebrow. "What do you have in mind?" Liam pointed at a worker fixing a Tesla battery. "I want to learn how that works." Elon smiled. "Then let's get you started." Hands-on learning. Elon introduced Liam to Jake, an engineer. "Teach him the basics," Elon said. "Let's see what he can do." Jake handed Liam a small screwdriver. "All right, kid. Ever taken something apart before?" Liam nodded. "I used to fix broken radios I found in the trash." Jake chuckled. "Then you're off to a good start." For the next few hours, Liam watched, listened, and asked questions. He took apart small battery packs, studied circuits, and learned how energy flowed through the car. By the end of the day, Jake patted his back. "You've got a sharp mind, kid. Keep learning, and you'll be building your own machines soon." Liam looked at Elon, who gave him an approving nod. For the first time, Liam felt like he belonged somewhere. Liam spent every free moment in the Tesla factory, learning about batteries, circuits, and how cars worked. He asked endless questions, and Jake, the engineer, patiently answered each one. One day, Jake handed Liam a small, broken motor. "Think you can fix this?" Liam's eyes widened. "Me?" Jake nodded. "You've been watching and learning. Now it's time to try." Liam took a deep breath and examined the motor. He turned it over, looking at the wires. Something felt loose. Carefully, he used a screwdriver to open the casing. Elon walked in and watched from a distance. He didn't say anything, he just observed. Liam worked slowly, checking each part. After what felt like an hour, he tightened a wire, reconnected a piece, and closed the motor. Jake grinned. "All right, moment of truth." He connected the motor to a power source and flipped the switch. The motor whirred to life. Liam gasped. "I did it!" Jake laughed. "Yes, you did." Elon finally stepped forward. "Good work, Liam. You didn't panic. You thought through the problem." Liam's chest swelled with pride. For the first time in his life, he had built something of just surviving. A lesson in failure. A week later, Liam tried fixing another part, but this time, he failed. The device didn't work, and frustration hit him hard. "I'm not smart enough for this," he muttered. Elon sat beside him. "Do you know how many rockets I built before one actually worked?" Liam shook his head. 3 exploded, Elon said. "Millions of dollars gone. People told me to give up, but I didn't. Do you know why?" Liam looked up. "Why?" "Because failure is part of learning. You don't stop when things go wrong. You try again." Liam thought about that. He had spent his whole life surviving, never thinking beyond the next meal. But now, failure, a future. "What if I want to build things too?" Liam asked quietly. Elon smiled. "Then we'll make sure you learn everything you need." For the first time, Liam felt like he could be more than just a street kid. He could be someone. Liam's days became a mix of schoolwork and curiosity. He asked questions about everything: how cars worked, how rockets flew, and how computers could solve problems. One afternoon, Elon took Liam to his Tesla factory. The giant machines, robotic arms, and engineers working on futuristic cars fascinated him. "This is where we build the future," Elon said. Liam's eyes widened. "Can I try something?" Elon raised an eyebrow. "What do you have in mind?" Liam pointed at a worker fixing a Tesla battery. "I want to learn how that works." Elon smiled. "Then let's get you started." Hands-on learning. Elon introduced Liam to Jake, an engineer. "Teach him the basics," Elon said. "Let's see what he can do." Jake handed Liam a small screwdriver. "All right, kid. Ever taken something apart before?" Liam nodded. "I used to fix broken radios I found in the trash." Jake chuckled. "Then you're off to a good start." For the next few hours, Liam watched, listened, and asked questions. He took apart small battery packs, studied circuits, and learned how energy flowed through the car. By the end of the day, Jake patted his back. "You've got a sharp mind, kid. Keep learning, and you'll be building your own machines soon." Liam looked at Elon, who gave him an approving nod. For the first time, Liam felt like he belonged somewhere. Liam spent every free moment in the Tesla factory, learning about batteries, circuits, and how cars worked. He asked endless questions, and Jake, the engineer, patiently answered each one. One day, Jake handed Liam a small, broken motor. "Think you can fix this?" Liam's eyes widened. "Me?" Jake nodded. "You've been watching and learning. Now it's time to try." Liam took a deep breath and examined the motor. He turned it over, looking at the wires. Something felt loose. Carefully, he used a screwdriver to open the casing. Elon walked in and watched from a distance. He didn't say anything. He just observed. Liam worked slowly, checking each part. After what felt like an hour, he tightened a wire, reconnected a piece, and closed the motor. Jake grinned. "All right, moment of truth." He connected the motor to a power source and flipped the switch. The motor whirred to life. Liam gasped. "I did it!" Jake laughed. "Yes, you did." Elon finally stepped forward. "Good work, Liam. You didn't panic. You thought through the problem." Liam's chest swelled with pride. For the first time in his life, he had built something instead of just surviving. A lesson in failure. A week later, Liam tried fixing another part, but this time, he failed. The device didn't work, and frustration hit him hard. "I'm not smart enough for this," he muttered. Elon sat beside him. "Do you know how many rockets I built before one actually worked?" Liam shook his head. 3 exploded, Elon said. "Millions of dollars gone. People told me to give up, but I didn't. Do you know why?" Liam looked up. "Why?" "Because failure is part of learning. You don't stop when things go wrong. You try again." Liam took a deep breath. Failure wasn't the end. It was just another step. He picked up his tools. "Okay, I'll try again." Elon smiled. That's the spirit. Liam worked harder than ever. Every day he studied engineering, electricity, and mechanics. He learned how Tesla cars ran, how SpaceX rockets flew, and how solar panels stored energy. One night, he stayed up late in his room, sketching an idea in his notebook. A small, portable battery that could charge a phone in seconds. The next morning, he rushed to Elon's office. "I have an idea." Elon raised an eyebrow. "Let's see it." Liam showed his drawing. What if we make a battery that charges super fast? It could help people who don't have electricity all the time. Elon studied the sketch. Interesting. Have you tested it? Liam hesitated. Not yet. Elon smiled. Then that's your next step. Ideas are great, but making them real is what matters. Building the prototype. Liam ran to the Tesla lab, where Jake and the engineers worked. He showed them his idea. Jake nodded. All right, let's build it. For weeks, Liam tested different materials, measured energy flow, and adjusted the design. He failed many times. Some batteries overheated, others didn't store power, but he didn't give up. One evening, after hours of work, it finally worked. The small battery charged a phone in under a minute. Liam ran to Elon, excitement in his eyes. It works. Elon picked up the device and examined it. Well done, Liam. He smiled. You might have just created something important. Liam couldn't believe it. He had built something useful, and this was only the beginning. Liam's invention, a super-fast charging battery, became the talk of the Tesla engineers. Some believed it had real potential, while others thought it was just a small project. One day, Elon called Liam into his office. Your battery idea is good, Liam, but what do you want to do with it? Liam hesitated. What do you mean? Elon leaned forward. You have two choices. One, we could help you improve it and maybe even turn it into a real product. Two, you can keep learning, focus on your studies, and take your time. Liam's heart pounded. This was a big decision. He had never imagined himself creating something important. I don't know, he admitted. I just wanted to build something useful. Elon smiled. That's a good answer. But remember, great ideas need great minds behind them. You have potential, but you still have a lot to learn. Liam nodded. I want to learn more first. Elon looked proud. Smart choice. That night, Liam thought about his future. He wasn't just a homeless boy anymore. He wasn't just surviving. He was learning, inventing, becoming someone. He didn't know where this journey would take him, but one thing was certain. He wasn't going to waste this chance. Tomorrow, he would wake up, study harder, and keep building. Because now, he had a dream, and he was ready to chase it. Years passed, and Liam grew from a curious boy into a young man with a sharp mind and a big dream. Under Elon's guidance, he studied engineering, business, and space technology. He worked alongside some of the smartest people in the world, but the more he learned, the more he wanted to help others. One day, while watching the news, Liam saw a report about villages with no electricity. People walked miles just to charge their phones or power small lights. His heart ached. That could have been me, struggling to survive. That night, he went to Elon's office. I want to build something for people who don't have electricity. Elon leaned back in his chair. What do you have in mind? Liam took a deep breath. A small, low-cost solar battery, something simple but powerful. If people can charge their phones and lights, they can connect to the world. Elon studied him for a moment, then smiled. Let's make it happen. Liam worked day and night designing the battery. It had to be cheap, light, and easy to use. When he finally built a working model, Elon took him to a Tesla meeting. Engineers, investors, and business leaders sat in the room. Elon turned to Liam. Tell them your idea. Liam's hands shook, but he stood up. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. He was a young inventor. This is a portable solar battery, he said, holding up his device. It can charge a phone or power a small light. It's designed for people who don't have regular electricity. The room was silent for a moment. Then one of the investors spoke. "That's actually brilliant." Elon grinned. "I told you he was special." Liam smiled. This was just the beginning. He had come from nothing, but now he was building a future. Liam's solar battery idea quickly gained attention. Engineers refined the design, and Tesla's factories started producing the first prototypes. One day, Elon called Liam into his office. "We're taking your invention to Africa. There are villages with no electricity. We're going to change that." Liam's heart pounded. His idea was no longer just a dream. It was becoming real. The first test. A few weeks later, Liam and Elon landed in a small village in Kenya. The sun burned hot, and children ran barefoot across the dusty roads. A man named Daniel, the village leader, welcomed them. "We have phones but no way to charge them," he said. "When the sun sets, we sit in darkness." Liam smiled. "Not anymore." He placed one of his solar batteries on a table and connected it to a small light. Within seconds, the light turned on. Gasps filled the air. For the first time, the village had light at night. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "You have no idea how much this means to us." Liam swallowed hard. He did know. He knew what it felt like to live without hope. And now, he was giving it to others. Elon clapped Liam on the back. "This is only the beginning, kid." Liam looked up at the sky, where stars twinkled like endless possibilities. He had come from nothing, and now he was changing lives. News of Liam's solar battery spread quickly. More villagers reached out, asking for help. What started as a small project was now a global mission. Elon called Liam into a meeting with investors. "We need to expand production, more batteries, more locations." One of the investors, a serious-looking woman, asked, "Liam, what's your long-term goal?" Liam took a deep breath. This was his moment. "I don't want to just provide electricity," he said. "I want to create opportunities. If people have power, they can learn, start businesses, and change their future." The room fell silent. Then the woman nodded. "That's a vision worth investing in." Launching the company. With Elon's help, Liam launched his own company, one focused on bringing clean energy to the world's poorest areas. Factories in multiple countries started producing his solar batteries. Soon, thousands of homes, schools, and hospitals had light because of him. One day, Elon pulled Liam aside. "You've done something incredible, kid. But what's next?" Liam looked up at the sky. "We've helped people on Earth. Maybe one day we can do the same on Mars." Elon grinned. "Now, that's the spirit." Liam smiled. He had once been a homeless boy with no hope. Now, he was an inventor, a leader, a world changer. And this was just the beginning. Liam's company, Solar Hope, was now a global success. Millions of people had access to electricity, and governments began supporting his vision. But success also brought unexpected challenges. One evening, while working late in his office, Liam received a message from an unknown sender. "Stop your project. You are disrupting the energy market. This is your only warning." Liam's heart pounded. Who would want to stop his mission? The next morning, Elon called him. "Liam, we need to talk. Some big energy companies aren't happy about your invention. You're making free electricity available, and they're losing profits." Liam frowned. "But we're helping people. Why would they want to stop us?" Elon sighed. "Not everyone cares about doing the right thing. Some people only care about money." A tempting deal. A week later, Liam received an invitation to meet a powerful businessman named Victor Kane, CEO of Global Energy Corp. Victor was a billionaire, just like Elon, but something about him felt different. At the meeting, Victor smiled. "Liam, you're a smart young man. I admire your work." "Then why did someone threaten me to stop?" Liam asked. Victor chuckled. "That wasn't me, but I won't lie. Your invention is a problem for my business. So here's my offer. Sell Solar Hope to me for $1 billion. You'll be rich for life." Liam stared at him. $1 billion. He had once struggled to find food. Now, he was being offered more money than he could ever imagine. But at what cost? He clenched his fists. "Number, this isn't about money. It's about changing lives." Victor's smile disappeared. "Be careful, Liam. Some decisions have consequences." Liam left the meeting, his heart racing. He had made his choice. But had he just made a dangerous enemy? Liam had faced struggles before: hunger, loneliness, and failure. But now he was facing something far more dangerous: a powerful enemy. A week after refusing Victor Kane's offer, strange things started happening. First, his company's bank accounts were frozen without explanation. Then, shipments of solar batteries were delayed at customs, held up by legal problems that never existed before. Finally, one night, as Liam worked late in his office, the lights flickered and died. The building went completely dark. His phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number. "We warned you. This is just the beginning." Liam's hands shook. He wasn't just fighting for his company anymore. He was fighting for survival. A plan to fight back. Liam called Elon immediately. "They're trying to shut us down." Elon's voice was calm, but serious. "I know. Victor Kane has powerful friends, but he made one mistake." Liam frowned. "What mistake?" "He thinks you're just a kid who will give up." Liam clenched his fists. "Not this time." "Then we fight," Liam said. "We find proof of what he's doing and expose him." Elon grinned. "Now you're thinking like an entrepreneur." Breaking into the system. With Elon's help, Liam hired the best cybersecurity experts. They searched through legal documents, financial records, and hidden contracts. What they found was shocking. Victor Kane's company had been bribing officials to block Solar Hope's expansion. They had paid corrupt politicians to stop Liam's batteries from reaching people in need. And worst of all, they had plans to destroy Solar Hope completely. Liam took a deep breath. He had proof. Now, it was time to strike back. The public exposure. Liam and Elon leaked the evidence to the world's biggest news agencies. Within hours, every major news channel was reporting. Billionaire energy CEO exposed for corruption against clean energy movement. The world was watching. Governments launched investigations. Stock prices for Victor Kane's company plummeted. And just like that, the hunter became the hunted. A final warning. One night, Liam received one last message from Victor Kane. "You think you've won, but you don't know how deep this game goes. Be careful who you trust." Liam stared at the message. Was this really over? Or was there an even bigger threat waiting in the shadows? He didn't know, but one thing was clear. He was ready for whatever came next. Liam had exposed Victor Kane, but something didn't feel right. Solar Hope's accounts were restored, shipments resumed, and governments supported his project. But Elon's words haunted him. "Victor thinks you're just a kid who will give up." If Victor was defeated, why did he send that final warning? A secret meeting one evening, Elon called Liam. "Meet me at SpaceX headquarters, now." Liam rushed there, his heart pounding. When he arrived, Elon was sitting in a dark conference room, staring at his laptop. Without looking up, Elon said, "Victor Kane was never the real enemy." Liam's stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" Elon turned the laptop screen toward him. It was a live satellite feed. On the screen, a private jet was landing at a hidden airstrip in the middle of a desert. Stepping out of the jet was Victor Kane and another man. Liam leaned closer. "Who's that?" Elon's face was unreadable. "His name is Magnus Steel. He controls some of the biggest oil companies in the world. He doesn't just want to stop Solar Hope. He wants to own the future of energy." Liam's heart pounded. So Victor was just his puppet? Elon nodded. "And we just poked a much bigger bear." The assassination attempt. That night, Liam returned to his mansion, exhausted. He had barely stepped inside when the house alarm blared. Security guards rushed in. "Sir, we have an intruder." Before Liam could react, the power cut out. A voice crackled over a hidden speaker in the darkness. "You should have taken the money, Liam." Liam froze. Victor, then a gunshot. Glass shattered as bullets ripped through the windows. Liam's security team tackled him to the ground. "Get him out, now!" They rushed him to a hidden elevator that led to an underground garage. Within seconds, they were in a Tesla, speeding away. Liam's breath came in gasps. "They just tried to kill me." Elon's voice came through his phone. "You're in the real game now, kid." Liam clenched his fists. This wasn't just about business anymore. This was war. A new plan safe in an underground bunker. Liam looked at Elon. "What do we do now?" Elon's eyes burned with determination. "We stop hiding. We fight back." Liam nodded. He had come from the streets with nothing. Now, he was facing the most powerful enemies, and he wasn't afraid, because now, he was ready. Liam sat in a high-tech underground bunker beneath SpaceX headquarters. Screens glowed around him, showing maps, stock markets, and security feeds. Across the table, Elon Musk studied a file. "Magnus Steel isn't just an oil tycoon," he said. "He controls governments, media, and private armies. He's played this game for decades." Liam's fists clenched. "Then how do we beat him?" Elon smirked. "By playing smarter, hacking the empire." Elon brought in the best hackers in the world. Their mission? Find Steel's weaknesses. After days of searching, they hit gold. Steel's oil empire was built on illegal deals, environmental destruction, and bribery. If the world saw the truth, his empire would crumble. Liam grinned. "Let's bring him down." The media storm. Liam and Elon leaked everything. Secret documents proving Steel's companies poisoned water supplies. Videos of government officials accepting bribes. A list of fake charities Steel used to avoid taxes. Within hours, the news exploded worldwide. Oil tycoon Magnus Steel exposed in global corruption scandal. Governments froze Steel's assets. Investors abandoned his companies. His empire was collapsing, but Steel wasn't going down quietly. That night, as Liam sat in the bunker, his phone rang. A deep voice said, "You made a mistake, boy." Then boom! An explosion rocked Tesla's main factory. Flames shot into the sky. A message flashed on Liam's screen. "This is only the beginning." Liam's hands shook. He looked at Elon. "We need to stop him. For good." Elon's eyes darkened. "Then let's finish this." Liam wasn't running anymore. After the battle against Magnus Steel, Liam sat in Elon's office, staring at the city skyline. He had won. But at what cost? His company had suffered, his life had been threatened, and for the first time, he felt overwhelmed. Elon walked in, setting down 2 cups of coffee. "You look like you've seen a ghost." Liam sighed. "I thought winning would feel different." Elon sat across from him. "It never feels like you expect." Liam hesitated. "What if I'm not ready for all this? What if I mess up?" Elon chuckled. "Let me tell you something. When I started Tesla, people laughed at me. When I built SpaceX, they said it would fail. I've failed more times than I can count." Liam frowned. "So, how did you keep going?" Elon leaned forward. "'Cause I believe in something bigger than myself, and so do you." Liam thought about his journey, from a hungry street kid to a world-changing inventor. "You don't have to do it alone," Elon continued. "You have a team. You have people who believe in you. And if you ever need help, I'll always be here." Liam looked up. "You really mean that?" Elon smirked. "Of course. What kind of father figure would I be if I didn't?" Liam's chest tightened. Father figure. No one had ever been that for him before. A small smile formed on his face. "Thanks, Elon." Elon nodded. "Now, get some sleep. The future isn't going to build itself." Liam chuckled. For the first time in a long time, he felt at peace. With Elon's guidance, he wasn't just surviving anymore. He was unstopped. Liam had faced billionaires, corruption, and even assassination attempts, but nothing had prepared him for this. It all started at a charity gala in Paris. Elon had convinced him to attend. "You need to meet more people," Elon had said. "Not everything is about work." Liam had rolled his eyes, but he went anyway. That's when he saw her. Meeting Aurora. Across the ballroom, a young woman stood near the art display. She had long dark hair, intelligent eyes, and an energy that lit up the room. She wasn't like the others. She wasn't showing off wealth or chasing investors. She was studying the paintings, completely in her own world. Curious, Liam walked over. "You like art?" She turned, startled. Then she smiled. "Of course. Art tells stories." Liam smirked. "I prefer science. Science builds the future." She raised an eyebrow. "So you're saying stories don't matter?" Liam hesitated. She grinned. "Exactly. Even science needs a story. Otherwise, why would people care?" Liam was speechless. No one had ever challenged him like that before. "I'm Liam," he said. She smiled. Aurora. The growing connection. Liam had planned to stay at the gala for an hour. He stayed all night talking to Aurora. She was an artist, a storyteller, and a dreamer. But more than that, she understood people. For the first time in years, Liam wasn't thinking about work, enemies, or inventions. He was just happy. The realization days turned into weeks, and Liam found himself wanting to see her again. One night, Elon caught him staring at his phone. "Waiting for a text?" Elon teased. Liam snapped out of it. "What? No! I'm just, checking my schedule." Elon smirked. "Kid, you took down billionaires and built a global empire, but you can't handle a crush?" Liam groaned. "Is it that obvious?" Elon laughed. "Go after her. Life isn't just about success. It's about who you share it with." Liam took a deep breath. Maybe for the first time in his life, he had found something he wasn't ready for. Love. And he had no idea what to do next. Liam had faced failure before, broken machines, failed experiments, and ruthless enemies, but nothing hurt like this. Aurora had been the one thing in his life that felt untouched by power, money, or ambition. With her, he was just Liam. Not a billionaire, not a genius, just a man who had found something real. But now, as he stood alone in his penthouse, staring at the message on his phone, his world crashed. "I'm sorry, Liam. I can't do this." The words felt heavier than any loss he had ever experienced. He had fought wars against corporations, but he couldn't fight a heart that no longer wanted him. The memories, the late-night talks, the laughter, the feeling of finally belonging were now just ghosts haunting him. Elon had always told him that failure was a part of life. But this was different. This was the kind of pain he couldn't fix with logic or strategy. For the first time, Liam felt truly powerless. Liam sat in the dark, the city lights outside his window blurring as his eyes burned with unshed tears. He had faced betrayals before, people who wanted his money, his influence, his downfall. But Aurora wasn't supposed to be one of them. He replayed their last conversation in his mind, searching for where it had gone wrong. "I love you, but I don't fit in your world." Her voice had been soft, almost apologetic, but the words cut deeper than any knife. He had fought against corrupt billionaires, taken on the most powerful forces in the world, but how was he supposed to fight this? His heart felt like an engine with missing parts, stuttering, struggling, breaking down. The worst part? He couldn't even be angry. She was right. His life wasn't normal. It was a battlefield of business, media, and enemies waiting for him to slip. Maybe love was never meant for someone like him. Maybe he was always destined to be alone. Liam gripped the edge of his desk, his knuckles turning white as a storm raged inside him. How could she walk away so easily? He had given her everything, his time, his trust, a piece of himself he had never given to anyone before. And yet, it wasn't enough. The realization crashed over him like a tidal wave. Maybe it was never enough. He wasn't just losing Aurora. He was losing the part of himself that had dared to believe in something pure, something untouched by the weight of his past. He thought she had seen him for who he truly was, not just the billionaire, not just the orphan who had built an empire from nothing. But in the end, she had seen the same thing the world saw: a man consumed by power, by ambition, by a life that didn't leave room for love. He wanted to scream, to break something, to shut off the ache clawing at his chest, but no amount of logic or control could fix a broken heart. So he did the only thing he knew how. He buried the pain deep inside and got back to work. If he couldn't have love, then at least he could still have his mission. At least he could still build a future, even if he had to do it alone. Liam threw his phone across the room, watching as it shattered against the wall. But the pain inside him didn't break as easily. This wasn't supposed to happen. He had faced impossible odds, outsmarted the most powerful people in the world, built an empire from nothing. But he couldn't hold on to the one thing that truly mattered. He had let himself believe that love could exist outside the chaos of his life, that Aurora had been the one person who saw beyond the headlines, the fortune, the genius. He was wrong. The silence in his penthouse was deafening, broken only by the rhythmic pounding of his heart. He ran a hand through his hair, breathing heavily. His mind screamed at him to move on, to bury himself in work, to pretend this was just another loss, another setback. But this wasn't like before. This wasn't a failed experiment or a business deal gone wrong. This was his heart. And for the first time, he had no strategy, no solution, just the raw, aching emptiness where Aurora's presence used to be. Elon had always told him that pain was fuel, that the greatest minds turned heartbreak into something unstoppable. But right now, Liam didn't want to be unstoppable. He just wanted to be enough. Enough for her. Elon walked into Liam's penthouse without knocking, the shattered phone on the floor telling him everything he needed to know. He sighed, picking up a chair and sitting across from Liam, who was hunched over, staring at nothing. "You know," Elon said casually, "I've lost things too. Companies, money, rockets that exploded in mid-air. But heartbreak," he smirked. "That one hits differently." Liam didn't respond, his jaw clenched, his hands gripping his knees. Elon leaned forward. "You think this pain means you weren't enough, that you could have done something to change the outcome. But here's the truth, kid. Some people just aren't meant to stay in our orbit." Liam swallowed hard, his eyes burning. "Then why does it hurt so much?" Elon sighed. "Because love isn't something you can outthink, outbuild, or outwork. But you know what you can do?" Liam looked up. "Keep moving forward." Elon placed a new phone on the table. "You can let this break you, or you can use it. Turn the pain into something bigger than yourself. The choice is yours." Liam stared at the phone, his mind warring between grief and determination. Then slowly, he reached for it. Maybe he couldn't fix what was broken, but he could rebuild. And this time, he would make sure nothing could break him again. Elon watched Liam in silence for a moment, then shook his head with a smirk. "You think this is where it ends? That because she walked away, you're broken forever?" His voice was calm but firm, cutting through the heavy silence in the room. Liam exhaled, rubbing his face, his emotions a tangled mess of anger, sadness, and confusion. "It's not that simple," he muttered. Elon leaned forward. "It never is, but you of all people should know that failure isn't the end. It's a blueprint for what comes next." Liam flinched at the word failure, but Elon wasn't finished. "I've seen you fight battles that would break most people. You didn't just survive, you won. And now, because of one person, you're ready to give up on yourself?" Liam clenched his jaw, the weight of Elon's words settling in. It wasn't about Aurora anymore. It was about how he let this define him. He had been abandoned before, left behind by people who didn't see his worth. But every time, he had built himself back up, stronger, sharper, unstoppable. Elon sat back, his expression knowing. "You're not the first person to have their heart broken, kid, but the difference between you and everyone else?" He smirked. "You don't just survive, you evolve." Liam let the words sink in. Maybe Elon was right. Maybe this pain wasn't a dead end. Maybe it was just another turning point. And if there was one thing Liam knew how to do, it was to turn setbacks into something unstoppable. Liam let out a slow breath, staring at the city skyline beyond the glass walls of his penthouse. The world outside kept moving, completely unaware of the storm raging inside him. He wanted to say something, to push back against Elon's words, but deep down, he knew the truth. This pain wasn't the end of him. He had been through worse. He had faced hunger, loneliness, and a world that never gave him a chance. And yet, he had clawed his way up, refusing to be defined by his past. Why should this be any different? Elon leaned back, studying him with an almost amused expression, as if he had already figured out the answer Liam was struggling to find. "You loved her. That's not a weakness," he said, his voice quieter now, almost thoughtful. "But love isn't about who stays. It's about who shapes you. And trust me, the people who leave, they teach you just as much as the ones who stay." Liam swallowed hard, his chest tight with emotions he didn't know how to process. It wasn't just about Aurora walking away, it was about what that meant for him. Was he truly incapable of balancing love and ambition? Was he always meant to be alone, focused only on the next project, the next mission, the next impossible goal? Elon stood up, crossing the room to clap a hand on Liam's shoulder. "You're still here, kid. You're still breathing, still building. And you know what that means?" Liam looked up, his voice barely above a whisper. "What?" Elon smirked. "It means you're not done yet." And just like that, something inside Liam shifted. The pain was still there, the loss still raw, but beneath it, something stronger stirred. He had two choices: let this heartbreak define him, or let it fuel him. And if there was one thing Liam had learned from Elon, from his own past, from the life he had built out of nothing, it was that he was never meant to stay down. He was meant to rise. Liam woke up the next morning, feeling different. The ache was still there, a quiet echo of what he had lost, but it no longer controlled him. He stood by the window, watching the sun rise over the city, and for the first time in weeks, he felt like himself again. The weight that had been pressing on his chest had lifted, replaced by something steadier: clarity. Aurora had been a chapter in his life, a beautiful one, but not the whole story. He had spent too much time mourning what was gone, instead of focusing on what was still ahead. And the truth was, he wasn't alone. He had a mission, a purpose, a future he had fought for with everything he had. With a deep breath, he turned away from the window and picked up his phone. He had work to do, projects that needed his attention, ideas that needed to be built. He had a world to change. This heartbreak had tested him, had nearly broken him, but it had also forged him into something stronger. He wasn't a lost boy anymore, desperate for love to fill the gaps inside him. He was whole on his own. And as he stepped out of his penthouse, walking toward whatever came next, he knew one thing for certain. He was ready. Liam stepped into his office, feeling the steady hum of energy around him. His team working, ideas being built, the future taking shape. This was where he belonged. The ghosts of heartbreak still lingered in the corners of his mind, but they no longer dictated his actions. He had mourned, he had broken, but he had rebuilt himself. Not with desperation, not with distractions, but with the same force that had always driven him forward, his purpose. He wasn't just recovering, he was evolving. The love he had lost no longer felt like a wound. It was a lesson, a reminder that even the most brilliant minds couldn't control everything. And that was okay. Life wasn't about controlling every outcome. It was about adapting, learning, and continuing to move forward. As he sat at his desk, scrolling through blueprints for a new energy project that could revolutionize entire nations, a familiar voice interrupted his thoughts. "You look alive again," Elon said, leaning against the door frame with a knowing smirk. Liam chuckled, shaking his head. "I guess I am." Elon nodded. "Good. Now let's get back to changing the world." And with that, Liam left the past where it belonged, behind him. The road ahead was long, uncertain, and filled with challenges, but this time, he wasn't weighed down by what he had lost. He was fueled by what was still to come. Liam stepped into his office, feeling a calmness he hadn't felt in a long time. The pain of his heartbreak was still there, but it no longer controlled him. It was now just a memory, a lesson, not a weight holding him back. He had spent too much time looking back, wondering what went wrong. But today was different. Today, He was ready to move forward. He glanced around the room, watching his team work on new projects, solving problems and pushing ideas forward. This was where he belonged. Not in the past, chasing something that wasn't meant to be, but here, creating something bigger than himself. Elon walked in, his usual smirk in place, and leaned against the doorway. "So, are you done feeling sorry for yourself?" he asked casually. Liam let out a small laugh, shaking his head. "Yeah, I think I am." Elon nodded approvingly and tossed a file onto the desk. "Good, because we have a world to change." Liam picked up the file, scanning the blueprints inside. It was a new project, something groundbreaking, something that could help millions. He felt a familiar excitement rising inside him, a feeling he had almost forgotten. The past was behind him, and the future was waiting. Taking a deep breath, Liam smiled. He was ready. "Let me know which country you are watching my video."